Hello and welcome back to Game Brigade. My name is Brian, and today we are doing another issue of the Late Pledge series of the games that launched in the month of August. We are going to be doing the top 10 games that launched that you should know about. So let's go ahead and check out the first title, which is Mordred by CMON. This was a very divisive one. CMON's been kind of divisive as of late in terms of their games. People are really having a hard time, and this one didn't do as well in terms of their overall funding level. But Mordred is a game about gaining favor with the three leaders, which are Merlin, Mordred, and Morgana. You're going to be doing this by taking actions on the Rondel system. You're going to be taking advantage of heroes that you can recruit, dealing with different types of knights and monsters. There is not a lot of information when you dive through the campaign. This was one of my early complaints about this campaign, was the lack of information given to the players. It was, in fact, a lot more about buying things. So, like an example, when you scroll down here, it's all about the pledges and all the minis that you're going to get. What I do know is that CMON games generally hold their value very well. They are usually in high demand, especially once they have Kickstarter exclusives attached to them. So this might be one to consider if you're thinking about a game that might be hard to get once this late pledge is over. So you'll find the link for the late pledge down below if you have more questions about it. Do note, if you already backed this campaign, this is not the pledge manager. This is getting access to the pledge manager. It's just like an additional stretch of the campaign. So if you've already pledged, you do not need to check out this link. There will be another one in the future. The next game is Detective Saints and Sinners by Van Ryder Games. I also covered this one when it was live on GameFound, and this is an expansion to Detective. Now, I played Detective when I was collaborating with Jesse over Quackalope, and I love this game. I was very, very impressed with how good Detective is. This is a game where you are going to be trying to solve a case of some sort, a murder case, missing persons case, something of that nature, and you are taking place in the 1940s era. So think of that times era. They are going to basically, you are going to be taking on the role of the detective, but one player in the standard game is the Chisel. The Chisel is a player who is going to be playing the role of all of the people you are going to be interviewing and trying to sleuth through, and they are going to be giving responses in the game to the players. So let me see if I can see an example of that. So right here, so a character is getting asked a question, and so they are going to look at this card, pick the response they want to do, and then read that response to the detective. The detective has to make the decision, though. Were they telling the truth, or are they lying to me? If they're lying, if they believe they're lying to him and they catch them, they get a reward. But if they were telling the truth, the Chisel will have a advantage over the detectives. So in this specific campaign, you are going to be gaining access to 3 more expansion boxes. Those are detailed down here. You have the One Last Hit for the Hitman, Cloak and Daggered, and Blast from the Past. Now, Cloak and Daggered was a standalone campaign that was released at some point. They were trying to do individual campaign boxes. Did not do very well, so they're no longer offering these as individual, and they repackaged it here. But if you already own Cloak and Daggered, that's why they have the Saint box at $25. It includes all the things you're going to need, but it doesn't include the components for the Cloak and Daggered. Otherwise, the Sinner includes everything you need for this campaign. Check out the late pledge. I love this game. It's an incredibly fun game. The next one that we're taking a look at is the Firefly the Game 10th Anniversary Collector's Edition. I also talked about this one on my channel, and this is great. I love the fact that I've talked about a lot of these games. And this is a standard pick up and deliver game, very much mid-2000s era style of gameplay. I think this was a 2010 era game, and I think very much in the design and the scope of that game is reflected in that age. But if you are a fan of Firefly, this might be one of your only chances to be able to get the complete collection in this standalone full box. The game has been out of print for a few years from Gale Force 9, and now they're bringing it back with this 10th Anniversary Edition, allowing players to complete their collection, and it also includes an all-new expansion. So if that's something that's interesting to you, check out Firefly the Game 10th Anniversary Edition. Next, we have Teneres Adventures Ultimate Edition. Now, I already backed Teneres Adventures, and so they have an option for players who are returning backers or as new backers. This is going to be featuring in this campaign the all-new storage solution. We can scroll down here. Look at all these things that they're offering them in this campaign. But, oh wow, they got so much stuff. So here, the Super Box was one of their main features, basically allowing you to combine all your boxes into a more manageable system. Now, it doesn't take all of the expansion boxes, which was a little bit of an upset for me, but allows you to have a better coordination for your storage solutions. It also includes a new system for the rule books and smoothing and cleaning over that system for like a streamlined flow for the campaigns with the new stuff, and a bunch more content. So there's more stretch goals and more things to unravel and discover in this game. Teneres is a great combat system for campaign games. If you are looking for something that's a lot of that high fantasy feel, this might be for you. They have plenty of pledge levels, but all the way up to $1,000 if you're looking for the cosmetic all-in. It is a doozy of a game. It's beautiful. It's expensive. Check your wallets, though, before you go crazy, because it's expensive. The next one is Hamlet by the Lake. Hamlet is a village building game where you are going to be using your villagers to collect resources, to deliver them to different construction buildings so that you can add more buildings to your hamlet and grow. Hamlet by the Lake offers it's actually easier if I show you the actual campaign. Hamlet by the Lake is adding new lake options to the game. And effectively what that means is when you complete a section, if there's a gap in between the tile sections, there will now be a lake that will form in that area, allowing your villagers to go fishing for resources and also unlocking the ability to have boats so you can travel between different locations along the water to make shorter routes and paths for your villagers. This did very, very well here on Kickstarter, coming up with $300,000 and nearly 8,000 backers. Hamlet by the Lake is a great family weight village building game that you should maybe check out. Talking about family weight fun games, you've got Dog Park New Tricks. Dog Park did very, very well when it was on crowdfunding last time. And here we are coming back with an additional expansion for the game. Effectively, this one is going to be adding in a dog trainer to your system so that you can train your pups with additional new tricks and give them a little bit more rewards for doing that. It's also going to include different breeds of dogs that are like multi-breeds or mutts, depending on what you want to say. So there are going to be different types of dogs you get to play with. And it's also a deluxified version, so you can have screen printed meeples and linen finish. So if you're looking for those kind of component upgrades, if you're looking for this expansion, check out Dog Park New Tricks. After that, we have Thunderstone Quest. This is the deck building game by AEG, designed by Mike Elliott. And I believe this is the 13th and 14th expansions to the game. Effectively, this is a deck building game, and the gimmick between Thunderstone Quest is that you are going to be traversing through a dungeon or a quest of some sort as you go through different types of baddies and things, and you're building up your deck as you go through, eventually completing it with whatever the completion is. And there could be different types of twists and things that you can do, which can add replayability to the game. There are a lot of different Thunderstone Quest variants. This is Uncharted Waters, which has Raging Seas and Ancient Adversaries. So you have Quest 14 and Quest 15. So that means there are a bunch more quests that you can take a look at if you're looking for this game. This is a very classic old school deck building game, which I love. Deck builders are some of my favorite game types, but sometimes you kind of don't see much innovation. So when you see something that's new, it might be fun for you to check out. The one thing to note with Thunderstone Quest is very hard to find in retail. I don't see these very often when I go into the shop. So if you are looking for this, you could potentially get the all-in bundle where you can get all of the content for $500, but it might be worth checking out some videos to see if this game is for you. The next game we're going to be checking out is Phantom Epoch. Phantom Epoch, this is a by doTERRA Games. This was a independent publisher who made a sci-fi campaign game, very akin to, most people will talk about this one as akin to Gloomhaven. Very much similar style combat at times. Also, you have unlockable secret characters and components for those characters, as well as character progression as you go through the game, and it has a tactical combat system. I did a video on this one. It might have been a skipper back video on this one, and I thought this was an interesting design. I liked their campaign book here with the graphical tiles, so you don't have to have a bunch of tiles and cardboard. You just use the book. I thought that was pretty cool. And the additional ways that you can upgrade your ships and have some additional content seemed interesting. So I would highly recommend, if you didn't know about this one, if this was one that slipped by you, to check it out. Phantom Epoch by doTERRA Games. Next, we've got DC deck building game Justice League Dark. This is the Dark series of comics that this one follows. And this is a deck building game featuring DC comic heroes. This one is a very much standard deck building game, as you would think. You're going to have a row of cards in the middle that you can purchase or defeat that you're going to add to your deck. You're going to have available cards that are always going to be available for purchase as well that you can add to your deck. And you're just going to go through and do standard deck building procedures until you eventually beat all the super villains. The thing with this one is, if you are a DC fan, this is going to be right up your alley. You're going to get all the different types of superheroes and things that you can play with. Now, this one specifically is dealing with the Dark series of comics, so that comic book timeline or series, and it includes a bunch of different things for you to pick up. So you have the Legion of Doom, the cartoon campaign, which I believe is a Kickstarter exclusive. You have some Flashpoint content that you can pick up, a new Rivals for Shazam and Black Adam, so additional content there. You have the Crisis pack, and I think that should be it. Oh, 2 Rebirth expansion packs as well are all brought new to this campaign. So if you're wanting everything, you can check out the all game content, which is $325. Again, I highly recommend to always watch gameplay content before you go all in on a game, to make sure the game is going to be for you and if it fits your needs. There is a lot of content in the deck builder, the DC deck building game. There's a core box. You got Teen Titans. Now you got the Justice League Dark. So check out, see which one might fit your net fancy, and see if it's something for you. And rounding out the last game is the Gloomhaven Grand Festival. This campaign raised up to $5 million. This was a backer kit campaign with nearly 35,000 people that pledged. This campaign features a lot of different types of content for you to check out. Starting off is the Gloomhaven RPG set, which was a way for you to play Gloomhaven, but through a role-playing lens. So you're going to have a dungeon master or game master running you through the game. It includes 16 different types of character accessories, sets, so 16 different types of characters that you can play with. It includes the GM screen, all these things down here for the RPG game. They also have a full miniature set that is available for you. So if you're looking to add miniatures to either your Gloomhaven or your Frosthaven, you can get up to 600 miniatures through this stuff here. Even from Jaws of the Lion, some of their Forgotten Circle expansion that they did, you can get all the miniatures for all the content, bosses, enemies, everything here in the Wave selection. They also have a new Gloomhaven 2nd Edition option right here, which features some quality of life changes that were featured in Frosthaven, some additional changes there. They did some rebalancing to some of the characters, tweaked some of the verbiage on them, and also did some changes to the storyline in the quests, making them a little more balanced, making them a little more interesting. So there's an entire new 2nd edition here for players to take a look at. You also have the button and bugs if you want to check that out. And then you've got the whole Frosthaven kit line as well. So a second printing of Frosthaven, the price at $230. So a little cheaper than their MSRP at $250. Definitely a big campaign. A lot of content here. If you are a Gloomhaven fan, there's plenty of things for you to kind of dive in through this, see what kind of fits your fancy, figure out what you want so you can get out and be happy. So with that, that's it. Thank you guys for watching the top 10 games that launched their late pledge in the month of August. If you guys like this video, you know what to do. Help me out by leaving a comment in the comments section down below. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's get over 100 likes in this video. I'd really appreciate it. And also, if you're new to the channel and if this is something you'd like to see, subscribe for more. My name is Brian. Thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.